Okay, guys, welcome to week number 3 of the Jewish Pirate. And I just want to make a few disclaimers before we begin. Number one, there are timestamps down below. I understand that if you're on YouTube, you might be busy and just taking a quick break and you want to jump to the next thing. So there are timestamps down below. It's going to break down exactly what we're discussing in this video. So if you want to just jump ahead, by all means, go do that. Not everyone's got a ton of time on their hands to just watch a whole video. So I've made it easier to just grab the important piece of information that you're looking for, that you need to learn, and jump ahead and go do that. Number 2, we are going to be discussing today the concept of tactics and building your own personal matrix, and we'll get into what that means in this video. And number 3, I urge you and implore you to, if you find this type of content interesting, please let me know down in the comments what it is you find interesting, what you like, what you don't like. And if you do like it, consider subscribing, because it helps us grow and advance and bring more to you guys and more to the consumer. So subscribers and all of that, a lot of people ask for that, but it truly does help, and it allows us to grow and advance and evolve. That's a big theme here. So without further ado, let's get into it, and let's talk about what we're discussing today. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. Living like a Jewish pirate. What is that about? And what do I mean by building the matrix? If you've ever watched any pirate movie ever, everyone has a code, right? All these pirates, they have a code, right? And I want you, as, a young man in their 20s, in their 30s, to have their own code and to build their own life and to do it in a smart way. So we're going to talk about how you can build a better life, how you can build a list and a set of rules and tactics and a code to build a better life, i.e. habits, getting consistent with putting in the work. A huge part of this concept of building the matrix and building habits is also keeping track of it and make sure that you're being consistent. I know from my own personal experience that building habits and you're like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym is one thing, but maintaining consistency and keeping track of it is the part that I always struggle with. And I thought I would share what my method for maintaining consistency looks like, what that looks like. And yeah, so let's get in a little deeper. I just want to make this clear. Obviously, there we go. So obviously, a huge part of building a good life and building a strong life and having a life with purpose and motivation is that of having that of habits, right? And maintaining consistency is also a huge part of that. But I just want to point out that really, truly, consistency is really the key to it all, right? You can go to the gym and you're like, yo, I benched 400 pounds. You did that one time. It's not really going to help you much. It's really about the little amounts over the course of a long time. So I just want to point out to you guys, consistency is truly key. It's so important, and it's much better to do little amounts over the long haul and have the consistency than just, one-off times. So if there's going to be one key takeaway from this video, it's learn how to maintain consistency and build yourself a system, and I'm going to share how to build this. Hey guys, just a quick interruption. We'll get back to the video in a second. If you're getting any value out of these videos and you want to take action, I've got some tools to help, okay? If you want to check out any of the merch, the Notion templates, any of the value that we actually offer, you can check it all out in the description below, in the notes. We have a Notion template that will help you just keep track of everything. I'm sure you've seen the medallion that we carry. You can keep it in your pocket just to keep a reminder of who you are, what you're doing, what the goals are, what the dreams are. That's also in the description below. And we do have our Patreon community down below. Make sure to check that out. Guys, let's get back to the video. So I want to talk to you guys about the matrix, or what I call the matrix. And for me, the matrix is... It's really simple, actually, but it's basically a online Notion template that I've built, and I keep track of everything in my life there. So I keep track of, my clients. I keep track of money. I keep track of my habits, right? So going to the gym, refraining from alcohol, meditation, putting in the work. That's where I keep track of it all, right? And I'm going to share, if you want, I'm going to share my template with you. You guys can purchase it. We have it on Etsy for sale. It's not that expensive. It's the cost of maybe a meal. but it's a great way to have a place where you can just plug in all the information and keep track of it all. And then, of course, you can add on to it and build your own and, make it your own. Keep it personalized to you, if you will. We've spoken about the concept of maintaining consistency and building the matrix and all of this. And I want to ask you a question. Why is it so important to do all this, right? So at the end of the day, life moves really quickly, right? Just yesterday, I was 15. Now I'm almost 30, right? Like, life moves fast. And if in your daily life is moving fast, right? You wake up at 5 a.m., you go to the gym, you come home, you go to work, you come home, right? You have a family, you have a spouse, you have kids, right? Life moves very quickly, and if you're not keeping track of it all, right? And I'm not even talking about keeping track in the sense of, taking pictures and remembering the memories, but it moves fast in the sense of working towards what you actually want, right? You're going to your job, right? You love your job, right? Maybe you don't love your job, but in the sense of, okay, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to go build a business and I'm going to go work on something else, a passion project. You're like, okay, it's Sunday. Today's Sunday, right? It's Sunday morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. But, right, so I'm working on this right now because I know that if I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do it on Tuesday, Tuesday's going to turn into Wednesday, Wednesday's going to turn into the weekend, and before you know it, another week will have passed and I won't have gotten around to this. So I'm working on this right now, first thing Sunday morning, and it's so important to maintain consistency because unfortunately, life moves so fast and so many times it just slips out of your fingers. Okay, moving on to the next idea, you guys. And this one is so huge. I've come across so many peers in my life, and we talk about this concept of maintaining consistency and building habits and I'm going to turn over a new leaf January 1st. I'm going to start going to the gym. I'm going to quit alcohol. I'm going to stop watching porn. All of these huge, monumental tasks. What I've noticed is, like most people have noticed, it's pretty obvious, these things aren't sustainable, right? Building these huge goals or building these huge habits, all of them at the same time, it never ends up really going the way you want it to. And the point I'm making is that if you're going to take action and buy the Notion template and really trying to work on the habits that you have in your life and build the consistency and all of that, is that it really truly starts with the small, tiny things, right? I remember when I started my own personal development journey, one of the big things was make your bed every morning, right? And it's been said a million times, right? And I'm not here to tell you to make your bed, but it's the idea of a small habit that snowballs into a big one, right? So making your bed every morning, you're like, wow, my bed's made. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to go back to sleep, so let me take a shower, right? And then you're like, wow, I took a shower. I feel really good. I took a cold shower. So, I'm really high energy now. Let me go journal a little bit. You know what? My brain feels really clear and healthy and happy. You know what? I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to go to the gym, right? Oh, you went to the gym? Oh, okay. You know what? My body feels really great. Let me go eat a healthy meal instead of eating pancakes for breakfast, right? So you went from making your bed to now you journaled, you went to the gym, you ate a healthy meal, right? Now you're drinking water, right? It's the start small and let it snowball into the big thing. Don't start at the big thing and then you're like, oh, well, that was so difficult, so now I'm going to go waste the day playing video games or whatever. Start small, work your way up, okay? You know who I'm talking to. You know what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, like, discipline is built on small, consistent, repetitive steps. Just go through the steps, go through the motions, repeat, and before you know it, it becomes who you are. Okay, now this is a big one. Let's move on to the next idea, you guys. Now, this one took me a while to learn, okay? In my life, in all of the camera-related things that I do, my life gets very busy and it gets very hectic because I'll sit down on a Saturday night and I'll schedule out my week and I'm like, okay, Tuesday morning, I'm going to do X. Comes Tuesday morning and I'm like, okay, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. I'm going to do that thing, whatever that task is. And my kid decides to start screaming. And I'm like, well, I need to be fed. I need to be changed, right? All of that. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, got to go do that, right? And my task that I had scheduled gets delayed, right? And do we go and take that task and you're like, you know what? Actually, on Thursday, I have an open slot. I'm going to take that 6 a.m. task. I'm going to slot it in for Thursday. I'll do it then, right? Or do we just be like, well, I got delayed. I got distracted. I was busy. And we forget about it and we don't do it, right? the point I'm making is flexibility, right? The concept of flexibility within your within your tactics, within your matrix, right? Maintaining this concept of living like a pirate, building character, building motivation, building your hustle, right? Flexibility is such a huge aspect to it, right? Being able to be flexible, right? Being able to take the shots that life shoots at you, right? All of those things that are out of your control and, just throw you for a loop. Can you handle them with poise? Can you handle them with like, yeah, okay, this thing came up, I'm going to go do it, I'm going to take care of it, right? Or to get a wrench thrown in your system and you're like, well, I can't, I'm out. No, maintaining the ability to be flexible within your own personal life, within your business, within whatever it is you're doing is huge. And I feel like I say this for everything, but it's so important. And I'm still working on this. Like, this is a really tough one for me, being able to be flexible in my life and being able to be flexible on the day-to-day is very challenging. And I'm still working on it, but I encourage you to, when life throws a wrench at you, and if you haven't gotten a wrench thrown in your face yet, it will happen. Trust me, it happens to everybody. You're gonna be like, yeah, I'm launching my project, and you're gonna get the flu. You are about to make a ton of money and your car breaks down or whatever. These things happen in life, and it's important to be able to handle them. And you're like, okay, how can I take care of this? Okay, let me solve this little minor thing that came up and go back to the big thing. Maintain flexibility. It's so important. Next idea, you guys. Okay, now, segment number 6, you guys. Making your matrix, making your system work for you. And I touched upon this a moment ago, but like I said, I was talking about earlier about the concept of building habits and how we jump from, instead of making our bed and starting small, we jump to the big things. I'm going to quit X. I'm going to quit alcohol. I'm going to quit whatever, right? Start small, of course, but also work on the things that are important to you, right? So in the world of self-development and, reading books and the internet and YouTube, and there's so many videos, and I appreciate you watching mine, by the way, but the point I'm making is that you might come across an idea, you might come across a video, a book, and he's like, you should make your bed, go to the gym, quit alcohol, quit porn, right? All of these things, right? And you're like, well, actually, making my bed, I get up at 4 a.m., so maybe I'm not really interested in making my bed at 4 a.m. because getting to my job that starts at 5 a.m. is extremely difficult as it is. So adding another thing to that is just going to make me want to do it even less, right? So my point is that make your matrix and the things that you want to work on styled and catered to you, right? So like I said, in the scenario of making your bed, don't make your bed, right? That's not the thing you should be working on. The idea that I'm pointing out is that take whatever it is you want to work on and make sure that it's actually tailored to you. Don't listen to everything that you hear and try to take all of that in and you're like, I'm going to do that. Maybe those things aren't for you. Ask yourself what's important to you, what actually needs to get done, what is not fluff work, right? Making your bed, yes, it'll snowball into a bigger thing, but is it actually going to make you money? Is it actually going to make your body physically healthy? No, it's a fluff thing, right? But make sure that the things that you're working on are actually catered and tailored specifically to you and to your pirate lifestyle. This one's a big one, and I don't always do this, and I'm still, like a lot of things, I'm still working on it. I'm a human just like you, just creating YouTube videos, trying to make the world a little better place, and yeah, it's a work in progress, but it's the idea of the power of reflection, right? We go and we build our lives, right? And we try to get better in every way we can, right? So we're doing the habits, we're going to the gym, we're going to work, we're building our businesses, right? We're trying to become entrepreneurs, we're creating content, right? All of that. And at the same time, we go and do, right? And do we ever stop and look at what we're doing, right? Do we engage in the act of mindfulness, right? Like, whoa, what is all this, right? What are we doing? Also, at the same time, within the operation of it all, right? Within the concept of, okay, I'm building this YouTube video, right? Which part did I miss? Oh, okay. Oh, I missed that concept last week. I forgot to mention this thing in the video, right? Or, oh, I was being lazy about the thumbnail, or, oh, I didn't build the script as well, right? Whatever step you're on, right? Do we look back and review our work, right? There's a concept in Judaism, right? The life of the Jewish pirate. The word is chazara, right? To review, right? The word chazara is to review, right? And it's such a monumental idea in Judaism, is the concept of reviewing, the concept of reviewing your work, right? When you're going out and you're building your life and you're working on, your relationship, you're working on your business, you're working on whatever it is you're working on, take 10, 20 minutes at the end of the week and look back at everything you did, right? Review your week in your head. Look back at the calendar. If I asked you on a Friday, what did you do on this past Sunday? I would safely bet that it would probably take you 10 minutes to remember what you did on Sunday, right? But if you have a calendar and you have a notebook, right, and you've written down what you're working on, review what you've done. Review what you've accomplished, right? Look back at your wins and also look back at what you've missed. And I promise that concept of reviewing your work, of chazara, will tremendously improve your life. And it'll allow you to just, whoa, I did that. Whoa, look at all what I accomplished. Whoa, I missed that. Okay, let's make sure we schedule that for next week. Review your work, guys. Guys, why am I sharing all of this with you? Because the idea of building a life that's worth steering towards, right? A proactive life, a life that of not letting the tides pull you in, but you pulling the tides. It is one of the greatest things. Instead of letting life just drag you around, whatever happens, happens. No. Build a life that's worth living. Build a life, if you want to go on a yacht and actually literally explore the seas, go build a life that will allow you to do that. So my question to you, and my final question to you, is, are you ready to build your life? Are you ready to start working on the small habits to take you towards those goals, to take you towards those dreams? And I'll just tell you this right now. Your ship is all ready to go. The question really remains, are you ready to set sail? Peace, you guys. See you next time.